Subway, eat fresh.
We welcome you to the Subway post-game show from our Fifth Avenue studio in New York, and they are still celebrating. No one has left Foxborough Stadium as the Patriots advance to the AFC Championship game. Jim Nantz with you here, along with Mike Dicker, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville. A stunning 13-3 comeback. Wow. Down 10, that is, going into the fourth quarter, going on to win it. Yes, controversy, just as there was 25 seasons ago when these two teams met in the divisional playoffs. And again, it's the Subway postgame show here on CBS. Gentlemen, let's go through this replay sequence one more time. The call we're going to be looking at all week.
The call was explained to you by Mike Pereira. It is a incomplete pass. The arm is going forward. That's the way the rule reads.
I think the ball came to rest, and I think the next replay after this will show something a little bit differently. We're talking just a matter of fractions here. Randy, right here, this is the one.
But Jim, I don't know if there's anything conclusive that the official on the field could say, yes, that's absolutely what I mean. It looks like it came to rest. It's almost, it's kind of. They can't rule on almost and kind of, and I think it's absolutely. We live in a slow motion world. That was real, live, and on the field.
But you're saying if they didn't have anything that was conclusive, then the call's supposed to stand.
I saw nothing in any of that it was conclusively.
Except the arm was going forward. That was the one definitive thing. The arm was going forward. That's what the rule says.
But as the rule says, as it's going and it's moving, it has to tuck all the way into the body. Then it can be fumbled.
The only thing I thought when it was live, I thought the left hand came back on the football.
I did
and
too.
You're not throwing the ball when you got your left hand on the football.
It's called the tuck rule in the NFL, and I want to tell everybody that I did talk during the overtime to Mike Pereira, the NFL director of officials, and he walked me right through the ruling. And here's what he said. If he gets the ball all the way back, tucked against his body, and then he's hit, then it's a fumble. But if it's in the process of coming back to his body and then he's hit, it's an incomplete pass. Now, I would think, Jerry, you raised it. This is what I was going to say. The left hand comes on the football. You'll see it on this next replay. That's part of the body. Is that, in fact, then tucked all the way against the body?
But he never had control of it up against his body.
And one thing you have to know
right here,
about
Mike. Look at this, right here. Is that not paused right there?
But, Jim, it's slow motion. It's momentary. I mean, it's a thousandth of a second.
Well, you know, I know what the Raider fans are saying right now.
Absolutely.
It took 25 years for the Patriots to avenge that controversial call in the divisional playoffs. It was December 18th, 1976 at Oakland, and Ray Sugar Bear Hamilton called for roughing the quarterback. The Raiders got a first down on the penalty, went on for the winning score a little bit later. And no snowplow today, no Mark Henderson on the field. And that, previous most famous game ever at Foxborough, the John Smith field goal against the Dolphins that won it 3-0. And tonight, well, they had to do a little bit of a different kind of shuffle out there.
Well, they didn't need a snowplow. He had a couple offensive linemen, a tight end, a holder.
Well, here I think the Raiders made a big mistake. They called timeout, which gave them time to go and get the snow. They're moving the snow away from the plant foot. The plant foot is the left foot, and that's the only thing they did. They got the snow so that foot wouldn't slip.
How about one thing about Adam Vinatieri? He is now, in his career, 6 for 6 in overtime kicks. And that's 3 this season. And that 45-yard field goal he made to tie it at regulation.
That's the game winner, but the big one was a 45-yarder to tie it.
Line drive.
Hey, Armand Catan back there in Foxborough with Tom Brady. Let's go up that way.
Tom, a lot of games in this facility over the years. Your first playoff game, your thoughts about an unbelievable ball game.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a total team win. I mean, defense played huge. We need those big stops. Adam hits those field goals. Offense comes through when we need it. Just so proud of so many guys, man. I mean, people just step up, continue to step up when we need them. And, you know, snowy, late at night, you know, we played in rain. You know, it doesn't matter to us. It's all about winning. It's all about team win, the Patriots.
Your thoughts on the controversial call and the fumble, a second life for the Patriots?
I knew I was throwing the ball. I mean, I should have been looking at that side on the blitz there, and Charles came in and hit me, and, you know, I was trying to get rid of the ball, so I'm glad they ruled it the way they did.
Unbelievable game, Tom. Congratulations.
Again,
an honest man.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Patriots next week in the AFC title game will host Baltimore if the Ravens win. We'll play at Pittsburgh if the Steelers are victorious tomorrow. Right back on the Subway postgame show.
you know, but we're happy to be able to play whoever we get a chance to play. Well, I think the conditions obviously were tough. It really was hard to throw the ball outside. I think the throwing game outside the numbers was tough. The running game outside was tough because, you know, the player starts, the running back would start laterally and then have to cut it up, and it was just hard to get real good consistent footing to make those cuts. So, you know, the best plays were the downhill plays, and I know Garner hit a couple outside, but he was able to hit them downhill. You know, we didn't do a real good job on the force a couple times, and you know, Garner's he's a terrific runner, and you know, he was just able to get out there and outflank us. But you know, that part of it was tough, so that it took that away. I think the rest of the game was, you know, I mean, it was harder to execute, but we still called what we practiced. You know, like I said, other than a couple of those routes that we worked on, that we put in similar to what we did last year in the Buffalo game.
Could you characterize the play of Tom Brady for a young man in his first playoff game?
Well, I think that, you know, Tom and the whole offensive team struggled a little bit early. You know, we had a decent first drive, and then we had, I think, maybe one first down until the drive right before the half. So, you know, we were kind of struggling to get into a good rhythm and get it going. But, you know, when we got into the second half, we moved the ball better. And then, of course, in the fourth quarter, we went to the no huddle. Then, you know, that's where we had most of our success. And, you know, Tom did a real good job at that. I think you really got to commend him for, you know, the poise that he showed under pressure in the situation. You know,
all right, so the Patriots are going to face the winner of our game tomorrow here on TV5, the Steelers and the Ravens. And coming up later in sports, I promise we're going to show you Vintieri's game-winning field goal.
Okay.